This regular meeting of the Board of Education is called to order. Please rise for the pledge. I pledge allegiance Mr. Schiraldi, please call the roll.
Mrs. Mahalis,
Here.
Dr. Schneider,
Here.
Mrs. Click,
Here.
Mr. Akam,
Is absent.
Mrs. Fuller.
All right, we'll begin tonight's meeting with special reports and recognitions. Tonight, the Aurora Board of Education is proud to recognize and congratulate the following students from Harmon for being selected by Rotary International as Students of the Month, and they are Kennedy Ware and Blaise Felice. May I please have a motion?
Second.
Mr. Schiraldi, please call the roll.
Dr. Schneider,
Yes.
Mrs. Fuller, Mrs. Mahalis,
Yes.
Mrs. Click.
Yes.
All right, would the students please come forward and get your certificates? Mr. Abramovich, go ahead.
Thank you, Board and Ms. Mahalis. Two individuals that we have here today, these names have been around for a while here in our district, and I know it's like that in a lot of districts, but I just love it when you see a lot of the younger ones come on up, and the Wares and the Felices, two outstanding families, and these individuals just keep following suit. Blaise and Kennedy are individuals that in the classroom are leaders amongst leaders, but the best is the teachers always say, no matter where we put them or who we put them with, they're always going to shine, always going to rise and bring everybody around them up. You know, they're the leaders the ultimate leaders by example, but yet around the school, they're always looking to help out, always have a smile on their face, always willing to do whatever it takes. And in the classroom, there's nothing any different with their academics. So can't wait for you to hear more about them. We're going to start off with Kennedy Ware.
Good evening. My name is Kennedy Ware. I'm an 8th grader at Harmon Middle School, and I'm honored to be selected as Rotary Student of the Month. I would like to thank my teachers for nominating me, because without their support, I'm able to be the best version of myself. To start, I would like to thank my family for the support they give me. Without my mom, dad, sister Kendall, and brother Elijah, I would not be where I am today. Because my family has always supported me through thick and thin, they have helped shape who I am today, especially when it comes to school. It's not only my family, but also the resources and support at school that have helped me grow and improve over the years. At school, I stay involved in many activities. I play the oboe and band, I help around the school through Beta Club, and on Wednesdays, I tutor students in our school's media center. My favorite subjects are math, science, and French, or as the French say, j'aime les cours de français. Being involved has helped me feel connected, and I always feel supported by my peers, teachers, and guidance counselors. Outside of school, I enjoy staying active. I have recently gotten into snowboarding, and I also play club soccer. I love spending time with my friends, listening to music, and going on walks and runs when the weather is nice. Looking toward the future, I hope to complete college and go on to pursue a career in the medical field. Right now, anesthesiology is something that really interests me. Through research, I have learned that anesthesiologists play an important role in keeping patients safe and helping them through surgery, which is a stressful and uncertain time in their lives. That responsibility is what makes the field so meaningful to me and why I feel drawn to this career. I'm able to be successful with the support of the many influences in my life. My family, teachers, coaches, and friends have all pushed me to work hard, stay focused, and be the best version of myself. I'm very grateful for their support and guidance. I would like to end with a quote by Eleanor Roosevelt. "The future belongs to those who believe in the beauty of their dreams." Thank you.
And now hear from Blaise Felice.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Blaise Felice. I'm extremely honored to be chosen to receive this award. I would like to thank the Board of Education for awarding me the privilege of being here tonight. I would also like to thank all of the individuals who were involved in the entire process for their time and efforts. Last but not least, I'd like to thank my friends and family for everything they have done for me. To be honest, I had heard of Rotary Club, but did not know much about it when I was first informed that I was awarded this. I did some research and realized why this is such a significant honor. The Rotary Club actively helps people around the world, and this not only makes a huge or major impact on who they help directly, but also other organizations who might take inspiration. I'm an active member of Beta Club. I help out when I can to deliver groceries to people who may need them with my mom. I also play football and run track. Sports have become a large part of my short life, whether it was in kindergarten playing rec soccer or playing the more competitive 8th grade football. I have always found motivation through sports. Sports have helped teach me to always try my best and never give up. The most important thing sports have taught me this far are mental toughness, time management, and discipline. Mental toughness. We actually have very little control over the game of life. There will be twists and turns that we never expected or anticipated. We must continue to stay focused on the vision and goals we have established and keep moving forward. Life isn't fair. We must be able to overcome those instances. Time management. We have all only been given so much time to do things, and what we choose to do with that time will directly result in our ability to impact others. If you want to excel at something, you must dedicate the necessary time to improve yourself accordingly. You must make choices with your time. Sometimes those choices are not fun or popular. Discipline. Being able to be disciplined, even if you don't want to, is vital to being successful. Discipline is not doing things well when you want to, but rather doing things well when you don't want to. I tried to apply this in school, for example, when doing homework. I've learned that if I get home and do my homework right away, that allows me to open up time to do more enjoyable things like going outside. School has always come first to me. School and learning will always contribute to making yourself better. I have come to appreciate that life itself is a continuous learning process. We are always learning something, whether it be things we are told by others or if we watch others and how they handle situations. By simply observing, we can learn what and what not to do. Regardless, we are always learning if we choose to do so. Thank you again for the privilege and honor, and enjoy the rest of your evening.
Thank you, students. Such wisdom from young people. Thanks for coming, and thanks to the families. We'll take a minute for pictures in the back, if you'd like, and then feel free to leave if you choose to do so. Well, while they're doing that, we can move on to the approval of minutes. We don't have any public speakers tonight. So could I please have a motion to approve the minutes from the regular meeting of February 23rd, and then a second?
Moved.
Are there any comments or edits to those minutes? All right, then Mr. Schiraldi, please call the roll.
Mrs. Click,
Yes.
Mrs. Mahalis,
Yes.
Dr. Schneider,
Yes.
Mrs. Fuller.
All right, minutes are approved as written. Next, we move to the superintendent and assistant superintendent's report, and I know you're ceding your time, so you can take it from here.
Yes, correct. So I am happy to have some special guests that are going to be taking my time up at the podium. I don't know if the board remembers this, but typically in August, we always have had to pass a resolution for a career tech waiver for 7th and 8th grade. With some law changes, that was not going to be an option, but it was actually an opportunity. And so Mr. Abramovich with Dr. Rothstein and Candace Meinl, who helped spearhead a transition to taking one of our programs, the computer program, and turning that into a career tech offering that we're proud to launch next year. So they are going to take some time to tell you a little bit about that program, and feel free to ask some questions. Okay. Mr. Abramovich and Mrs. Meinl, the microphone is yours.
Thank you, Dr. Milstich and board. As Dr. Milstead said, we were given the task of middle schools in the state of Ohio to adding to our curriculum. Mrs. Meinl, our new counselor at Harmon, her and I went to a meeting with a lot of other schools in our consortium. And all the other schools had the exact same thinking as we're all together. We don't have the space, we don't have the time, we don't have the money. What can we do? So what we did is we delved deeper into what we already do at Harmon. We were able to make, with what we have at Harmon, fit into our career tech program. And it's not something like, yeah, this will do. Oh no, it was done, and it is done with fidelity, and is done very well. And you're going to see, as we talk, how we got to make this work very smoothly.
Okay, so I'm going to start about what it actually means to offer the career tech in middle school, which Dr. Milstead already brought up some of the key points, but Ohio law now requires all districts in the state of Ohio to offer CTE curriculum to students in grades 7 and 8. There was a waiver, and the waiver was done away with, and starting with the 26-27 school year, all districts will be mandated to offer the curriculum to all 7th and 8th grade students. That curriculum requires a minimum of 30 hours per course, so 7th graders will have to take 30 hours, and 8th graders will also need to take 30 hours. We must provide access to all of our 7th and 8th graders. It's not mandatory to take, but we must be offered, and luckily the way we're going to run it, all of our 7th and 8th graders will take it. And it also must align with an Excel Tech pathway. So Excel Tech is our high school career technical program, and there are around 30 different pathways and programs. So we just have to align it with one of those, and the program we chose to do was interactive media. So how the process worked, steps 1, 2, and 3 were basically us sitting down with Excel Tech and meeting with Nate Fishko and Deanna Dielsing and being able to talk about with other districts what they were doing, how they were implementing it, what courses they were going to use that they already were using, so not having to reinvent the wheel. So we had discussed different options, but we ultimately settled on using our computer programming class. And so we were able to sit down on February 24th and sit through the application process and get our application submitted and approved through Excel Tech, so that's already been submitted and approved, and then we were able to get Jessica Matusik, who is our teacher for the computer technology course. She was trained utilizing our PD day on March 6th, and she has already gotten the qualifications to be able to teach the CTE courses, and then next is just basically delivering the program, and Mark is going to talk about how we will do that.
So it's really important to understand how in Harmon we're doing it. As Candace mentioned, Jessica Matusik. Jessica Matusik has been a long time computer tech teacher at Harmon Middle School. We're going to leverage this, and we're going to have this in our 7th and 8th grade rotations. To understand what that means, in our rotations at Harmon Middle School, let's think about a school year is 36 weeks, split into 18 weeks and 18 weeks. This 18 is your PE and health. So let's take that out. So then this 18, all right, is a combination of art, industrial arts, and then computer tech. So at the semester, and all you guys are, the board members are a part of this now with family members being in it. So at the semester, they switch. So let's say if there's 250 kids in a class, 125 are in computer, the rotation of the 3 classes. The other 125 are in PE health, and at the semester, they switch. And so we have those 3 classes, art, industrial arts, and computer tech, split up into 6 weeks, 3 6-week sessions, 6, 6, 6, which is 18 weeks. So that makes up our school year. So, and then, as we said, it takes minimum of 30 hours. So 6 times 5 is our 30 hours to be able to do that. And it passed without an issue by any means. As Candace said, we're going to go down the interactive media pathway. Other pathways, for instance, you have like agriculture, engineering, law, and public safety, and marketing, science, health science. We entertain the idea of health science because we're a unique middle school that has 3 PE health teachers. But again, we came out with the best option is our computer tech program. The courses must cover what they say is 25% of the standards. So it's one of those things that we take a look at the curriculum and we go, okay, we got to cover 25% of that. We looked at it, and right away, we do that, truly do that. But Jessica Matusik really was excited about this as well, and she's like, oh my gosh, not only can we do more, but we're going to continue to take this and move it in depth. And not only then take it to that level, but also use it to be flexible. Like 3-4 years ago, we have cybersecurity now in our high school. 3-4 years ago, we weren't talking about cybersecurity. So like Jess said, that what we could go forward and take what we have now to align with our Excel Tech, but it also has the freedom to be able to move and continue to align with future possible courses or pathways. So which is really neat. She's really excited about it, delved right into it on our March PD day and got the certification. Our 7th grade course in our EMIS coding is going to be creating and editing digital graphics. Our 8th grade course is video and sound. Again, this is something that is an exposure to it. It's not by any means you're going off into the into the job market after you take these courses. And then again, when we take a look at some of the things that they're doing in those classes and according to the curriculum, but when you look at this and like you look at the 3rd, 4th one down, drag and drop, you're like, oh geez, I would hope our kids know how to drag and drop. But when you look in terms of creating and editing digital graphics, we're talking about something a lot more in depth and deeper. And then this actually, with our high school, obviously it houses the photography part of our consortium of our Excel Tech. And this also has, like, it opens up that ability of our kids to, hey, stay home, stay on campus, and maybe look further into that as well. So it aligns with us in many different ways. And so that's the creating and editing digital graphics, and then the video and sound that our kids will be exposed to. You guys have this, obviously, the presentation, and so you could be able to go into the websites, the middle school CTE programming info, like you want to see how they were doing this in Ohio or why, or how ODU, their presentation on the middle school CTE. Those are links that we added in there as well. When you guys are bored, you want to read up on that stuff, you may do that. So with that, do you have any questions for us?
Since I was a part of the planning process, could you speak a little bit to the career connection and how you'll actually tie in with the high school program? Because I think that's a pretty cool opportunity for middle school students to have opportunity to learn from and interact with the high school Excel Tech program.
You want to start?
So I think we had talked about too, is like bringing some of those kids down and working with our middle school students and just showing them like what the opportunities are, and just not with interactive media or the photography, but all the Excel Tech programs. It's just bringing down those juniors and seniors to be able to explain to the middle school kids like what the offerings are and what they have the opportunity to do as they get older, especially since they don't really learn about it until their sophomore, junior year, but give them that exposure earlier on.
And then being with the interactive media, kids are getting an idea, and what Jessica Matuska is going to be doing is making the connection throughout as far as how in the Excel Tech program it is connected as well. Going down the interactive media pathway or the technology pathway.
Maybe you explained this and I missed it, and I understand how the 18 weeks thing works, the 9-9, whatever. So what is being removed so that this can be offered?
You know, that's a great question on that, and I actually have a note on this, Ms. Mahalis, to say something, and I did not comment on that. And so what is nice about it is there's not really big things, it's not being removed. It's continually being added to or tweaked. Jessica, every year in her computer tech programming class, or computer tech class, not programming, she's always tweaking and changing things around to add to things. Or, you know, there's some things that are new. Now it's like kids coming up in 3rd grade already know it. And she's like, well, I'm not going to teach that. It's different than now what it was 4 years ago and 2 years ago. And so she's excited at looking at the curriculum offerings of other things that she can add in as well. And for those that know, I cannot stand the pet, it's a pet peeve of mine when people go, oh yeah, we do that. We could have easily have sat there and looked at it and go, because Jessica and Candace and I, we hit the minimum requirements of 25%. We easily had to 25%. We said, oh, we could be just done with that. No, we want to see where, as Dr. Milstead said, how we continue to make it align better. And then again, where we have seen the trends going and how, like I said before, Jessica will be able to maneuver as time goes on and shift it if needs be. But it's not a matter of kids are being taken out, things that they've learned already. Like there's things that kids have learned today they didn't learn 5 years ago. It wasn't there. Or there's things that Jess taught 5 years ago that she's not teaching today because it's something that's not relevant or they have learned it at another point. It's really, I appreciate her with her flexibility and making sure that what she's doing is really relevant to the learning into the like, society and the job market and the Excel Tech program.
Okay, thanks.
Anything else?
Other questions?
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you both for presenting, and that is the end of my report, and I'll turn it over to Mr. Hayes, who's going to be introducing our next report,
Which will just be Mrs. Goodman.
and Mr. Maglianico, correct? Yeah. Mrs. Barker was supposed to be here in 6, so Mr. Maglianico is going to jump in as well.
Thank you, Dr. Milsatici and the Board of Education for allowing us to present tonight about the earliest services that we have in the Aurora City Schools, which is our preschool services. Lauren Barker, who is our preschool director, could not be here this evening, so Mr. Maglianico and I will be your presenters for tonight. So it's hard to believe, a little over 20 years ago, our preschool program started out with about 8 to 10 children, and now that has grown to over 100 students that we have enrolled in our preschool program. We currently have 6 center-based classrooms at Miller Elementary, and we also go out to all of our preschools in our local area, which includes the Goddard School, Young Explorers, My First School, Hope, and Aurora Children's Early Learning Center, where we do go out and provide services to our preschoolers who are actually placed in our community preschool programs. Some of those services that we are providing to these preschoolers include speech therapy, occupational therapy, physical therapy services, vision therapy, audiological services, as well as mobility services. So you might be wondering, how do our youngest children actually come to our preschool program? And that actually starts off with us getting to know them as early as 2 years of age and 10 months. Where they are currently working with Help Me Grow in our community programs to determine if their child had any developmental delays that they were working on to help close that gap. Then our school psychologist, Erin Bradick, is meeting with Help Me Grow to determine if any child still requires services through our school system. And so we complete an assessment to determine if the children qualify for additional services through the Aurora City Schools. If they do qualify for services, we have to determine what is the best way to provide that service. That could be in our general education preschool classrooms, which are out in our community or at Miller. It could be in our itinerant service model, where they are placed in a preschool classroom in our community and we're going out to them and providing speech therapy to them, or one of our preschool teachers are going out to the school to provide any consultation on any area of domains of their development that might be delayed and they need some support with. What you might be most familiar with is our integrated preschool model, which we house at Miller Elementary, which is our inclusive program where 50% of the students have an identified area of need that we're targeting through an IEP, and the other 50% of the children are our community peers who we screen to make sure that they are great community role models, a good communication partner, a great turn taker, and someone who's going to thrive in our preschool curriculum. Some of the more intensive services that we could also provide is a special education preschool class, where it's a more intensive class with students who have identified areas of need and aren't quite ready to be in a general education classroom yet. And we work to help them close the gaps that they have so that they can get into a classroom very soon. The other services that we could provide would be a separate special education school or a program that a family might decide to work through, or we might determine is the best placement for them, or a service provider home location, where children might just come to Miller to get their therapy services and they go home. So their families might have decided that they're not quite ready for preschool services yet, but we do want to still continue with the services that you've identified are a need for our child. Same with the home services that we provide are for some of our more medically fragile children who might not be ready to come into our preschool setting, and their health and safety is the most important thing at this time. So next I'm going to have Mr. Maglianico talk about how our preschool program has become one of the top-rated gold programs in the area.
Thank you, Maria. Thank you, Board, for allowing us to speak tonight. Our preschool program is guided by 2 key systems, Step Up to Quality and the Department of Children and Youth Preschool Licensing. Step Up to Quality is Ohio's quality rating system built on research-based practices that improve outcomes for students with students in preschool education. And it reflects Aurora's commitment to providing and delivering high-quality early learning experiences for our students. The preschool program is licensed through the Department of Children and Youth and Preschool Licensing Program, which sets strict requirements related to safety, staffing, and early learning experiences. Our classrooms are intentionally staffed with 1 lead teacher and 2 assistant teachers, and all preschool staff must attend yearly professional development focusing on preschool education. So the requirements are up there 15 hours of training per year for administrators, and then 10 hours of training per year for our teachers. And those trainings have to align with Step Up to Quality standards. Mrs. Goodman and I are really proud to share that during our annual Step Up to Quality and Licensing visit, which happened on March 4th, we were informed that we met all of our preschool licensing expectations and maintained our gold rating, which is the highest rating for Step Up to Quality. For our curriculum in preschool, our curriculum team worked last year diligently and chose Frog Street Pre-K curriculum. Frog Street is aligned to research-based practices and supports the whole child. It focuses on academic, social, emotional, and developmental growth for our preschool students. There are several non-negotiables that we have to have in place for our curriculum implementation, and those include a well-structured classroom environment and appropriate curriculum materials, strong teacher-student interactions and consistent routines, intentional lesson planning, assessment and data collection, and learning centers and stations that provide high-quality learning experiences for our students that are thoroughly planned out by our teachers, as well as continuously displaying the student work for students and staff to see. Family engagement is a key component and critical component of our program. We gather information through our family needs survey, which happens yearly. We have a referral process that is in place that provides and connects families to our preschool services as well as community resources and follow-up services. We provide 2 parent event opportunities per year. You'll see on the picture on the left, this is our latest parent event, which was preschool music and literacy night presented by Music with Abby, which we had a huge turnout of parents and students. It was amazing to see. All of our children participate in screenings on a regular basis. We provide conferences to parents so that they can receive updated information on student growth, and our staff reports on our approved curriculum and assessments on a regular basis, and that information is shared out with our families. And then community collaboration. This was one of our goals this past year for our preschool program, was to enhance and create a strong emphasis on community collaboration. This includes building partnerships with local preschool programs and organizations to better support our students in our preschool program. For example, up top you will see Erin Bradick, who is our school psychologist, providing training to a variety of community preschool providers on our preschool special education evaluation process and referral process, which help to create an alignment between our expectations and who they are sending to us from their preschools. We also partnered with the Ohio Early Childhood for Excellence. We brought in Katie DeSmith to speak to several Portage County school districts as well as community preschool programs. We brought them together to enhance our collective understanding of preschool consultation, preschool resources, and educational coaching that can be provided to all the programs at free of cost, which was amazing. We had a nice turnout actually in this room with several people from the community. In closing, through our continuum of services, strong systems, high quality curriculum, meaningful family engagement, and active community partnerships, we are ensuring that our preschool students and program provides a safe, compliant, and high quality foundation for student success. So thank you for your time tonight, and if you have any questions, we are open to them.
How young do you start looking at children in the community? What age?
So they have to be screened by their 3rd birthday if they are currently working in Help Me Grow.
Got it.
So that usually starts when they're 2.5 years
That's what
old.
I thought you said.
I know, when we're already starting to screen them to see if they still have any delays in their development and if they require services through the school district. So that seems really young, but we do have many 2-year-olds visiting Miller and getting a screening with all of their emotions and how they feel about it, and that's what we're used to at Miller, so.
Yeah. All right, well, thank you for your report. All right, does that conclude both reports then?
Yes.
So we'll move to Mr. Schwalbe.
Unfortunately, I don't have anybody to present for me, but.
Nope.
Okay, these are the financial reports for February 2026. For the general fund, for the month of February, revenues exceeded expenditures by $4.9 million. This increases the general fund cash balance to $15.4 million to end February 2026. For the year-to-date through the month of February, revenues were 8.7% less than the previous year, while expenditures were 3% greater. And I'm going to talk about revenues to kind of explain why that variance is there. So for revenues for the month of February, revenue is down $4.2 million compared to last year, a year-over-year change of 32.1%. Year-to-date revenue is down $3 million compared to last year, which is again the change of 8.7. So these variances are mainly caused from lower property tax collection this year. Across the state, every school district kind of experienced advances coming in lower and slower than they typically have. So there was kind of a lot of shock when those advances started. That first advance came in, and it wasn't the amounts that we're used to seeing. That's due to a lot of the legislation that's going on at the state and different things like that. The good news is, after the advances come in, the county does a final settlement. So they, calculate out the rest of their collections, any fees, subtract out the advances they gave, and provide the final settlement for your collection for that half of the settlement year. So in March, we just received that, so that variance should kind of dissipate once we see March's figures in those year-to-year comparisons. So I know that's a big number and some high percentages variance, but it's mostly a timing issue. We're not really receiving that much less money than we did last year or anything like that. So revenue received through February totals $35 million of the annual budgeted $52.8 million, and the amount remaining we expect to receive is about $17.7 million. For expenditures for the month of February, expenditures are up $109,000 compared to last year, a year-over-year change of 2.9%, and year-to-date kind of goes right in line with that. They're up $1 million compared to last year, which is a year-over-year change of 3%. The month-to-month and year-to-year date increases, again, are driven by some salary and benefits increases with some offsets through other expenditures that has had a fairly significant decrease this year. Expenditures through February total $34 million, $34.2 million of the annual budgeted total of $52.6, and the amount of budgeted expenditures remaining is $18.4 million. The total cash balance for all funds is $16,953,452, with the general fund having a cash balance of $15.4 million. This overall cash balance is $4.9 million more than that at the end of January, as we started collecting tax advances in February, which is our main source of revenue. Expenditures, of course, remain about the same every month, except for when we have like 3 pay months or something, some type of emergency repair or something. But and then, like I said, tax collections are going to continue into March, when we just got our final settlement. So we'll see those revenues kind of level out compared to what our projections and what it's compared to last year.
Okay. All right, thank you for that. Exhibit D1 is a resolution to approve financial statements and reports. May I please have a motion? Chair seconds. Are there any comments or questions? All right, Mr. Schroeder, please call the roll.
Mrs. Mahalis?
Yes.
Mrs. Click?
Yes.
Dr. Schneider?
Yes.
Mrs. Fuller?
All right, thank you. Moving on to new business, we have Exhibit E1A, which is a resolution to accept gifts and contributions. May I have a motion, please?
Moved. Second.
I'd like to start by saying that most of these donations on the list are from the Aurora Schools Foundation, and there are several more, via Financial, the Rotary Club, VFW, and the Aurora Elementary PTO, who are donating to the Layton Amphitheater. Is that a renovation of that?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a renovation, but it's, I would say it's more than that, since it's not really usable right now, so
Yeah.
it goes beyond a simple renovation, and it'll be an exciting outdoor learning space when we're done
Yes.
with it here this April.
And it is very exciting, and we want to thank the Aurora Schools Foundation for the way that they have helped our students over, I think it's been more than 30 years, in ways that go beyond what the school can budget for many of these projects, which are innovative and creative and imaginative. So we thank the Aurora Schools Foundation for that. Did you want to say anything else?
That's exactly what I would have said. I see Rachel's out there from the Aurora Schools Foundation, so we want to thank her
Yes.
for making this happen, Mr. Waters too, and his team, and all the staff members, and then all these other, donors that you mentioned
Yes.
that contributed from the PTO to V Financial and the others, VFW. So grateful for the support and cannot wait to see the project come to fruition and open it up and go enjoy the learning space with some of our students. So thank you.
Yes. Thank you. I also want to make mention that there's a donation of $8,100, which was given to the Aurora Special Ed Department in Cindy Kecken's name. And hope I can get through this. Cindy was a very dear friend of mine and of Mary's for almost 40 years for me. Her 3 boys graduated from Aurora, and she has several grandchildren in the school system now, one of whom is Charlie, who has special needs. And over the years, Cindy always told me that she was so thankful to Mr. Maglianico and the entire special ed department for all the ways that Charlie has benefited from your services. And so I know that she would be glad to know that this money was donated in honor of her memory. So I thank the donors for that. Did we vote on that? Okay, let's vote.
We did that. Mrs. Click?
Yes.
Mrs. Mahalis?
Yes.
Dr. Schneider?
Yes.
Mrs. Fuller?
Okay, moving on to personnel resolutions. I'm going to take the first 3 individually, then we'll take the rest together. Exhibit E1B1 is a resolution to accept resignations and a retirement. May I have a motion, please?
Second.
We thank everyone for their service, but I would be remiss if I didn't make mention of the first 3 who have served over 20 years in the district. We have Dr. Gretchen Jessel, who served 26 years, Barb Cudley, Ollie's mom, 25 years of service to the district, and Pamela Altman for 21 years of service. Are there any other comments about that?
I just want to say congrats to my mom. I'm sure her retirement will be just as big as my dad.
I'm sure. All right, Mr. Schiraldi, please call the roll.
Dr. Schneider?
Yeah, abstain.
Abstain. The minutes say abstain.
Mrs. Mahalis?
Yes.
Mrs. Click?
Yes.
Mrs. Fuller?
Exhibit E1B2 is a resolution to employ licensed substitute teachers for this school year. May I have a motion, please?
Moved.
Second.
Mr. Schiraldi, please call the roll.
Mrs. Fuller?
Yes.
Dr. Schneider?
Yes.
Mrs. Mahalis?
Yes.
Mrs. Click?
Yes.
And Exhibit E1B3 is a resolution to award new administrator contracts. One is to Mr. Jeff Willard as the Director of, Facility?
Maintenance and operations. Yep,
Maintenance and
FMO. Just say
Operations, yes.
FMO. Yeah.
and to Mr. Maglianico because of some contracts language. May I have a motion, please?
Second.
Mr. Schiraldi, would you please call the roll?
Dr. Schneider,
Yes.
Mrs. Mahalis,
Yes.
Mrs. Click,
Yes.
and who didn't I call? Mrs. Fuller.
Okay, we got that. So we welcome Mr. Jeff Willard to the district and look forward to working with you. Is there anything you'd like to say?
Let me just say thank you. It's a real pleasure. I'm really looking forward to working with the team here and helping the staff and the students and the administration and the community and the board achieve all the goals the University School District has in front of them. A lot of things happening here, very progressive, and I'm excited to be a part of it. So thank you so much. It's just really a pleasure to be here. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, and without objection, I will take Exhibit E1B4 through E1B11. Is that okay with everyone? I'll take them together. So E1B4 is a resolution to approve the introductory appointment of support staff. Exhibit E1B5 is a resolution to employ support staff. Exhibit E1B6 is a resolution to award supplemental contracts. Exhibit E1B7 is a resolution to terminate the employment of a support staff member. Exhibit E1B8, a resolution to increase extended time contracts for this school year. Exhibit E1B9 is a resolution to employ licensed substitute teachers for next school year. Exhibit E1B10, a resolution to employ substitutes or support staff substitutes for this school year. And Exhibit E1B11 is a resolution to award supplemental contract to a non-district person. May I have a motion, please?
Moved.
Second.
Are there any comments or questions about any of those? All right, then, Mr. Schiraldi, please call the roll.
Mrs. Fuller,
Yes.
Dr. Schneider,
Yes.
Mrs. Click,
Yes.
Mrs. Mahalis.
Yes. All right, all those resolutions are approved. Next is Exhibit E1C, which is a resolution approving a memorandum of understanding with the AEA. It regards matters relating to retiring employees' insurance premium costs. May I have a motion for approval?
Second?
Are there any comments or questions about that? All right, then, Mr. Schiraldi, please call the roll.
Mrs. Mahalis,
Yes.
Mrs. Click,
Yes.
Mrs. Fuller, Dr. Schneider.
Yes.
Next, Exhibit E1D is a resolution to update policies. We have 3 policies before us. EFD was regarding misbranded foods and cultivated protein food products. JEB regards the entrance age for kindergartners. And EBDE is regarding the procurement and administration of overdose reversal drugs. May I have a motion, please?
Second?
Any comments or questions?
Do you mind if I just comment
Oh.
briefly?
Yeah.
So as I communicate with the board, these are all simple, just required changes, so no need for discussion like the last one on AI. So the first one, misbranded foods, was obviously just a recommended change with legislation. Same with kindergarten age entrance. We've been waiting on that one because we had we were going to go with August 1st. We changed that, but then they changed the legislation to be the first day of school. So that'll be the first day of school moving forward, which is a requirement. And then we had already updated the other policy on the procurement and administration of overdose reversal drugs. The only difference with this one is it just mentions some potential professional development topics for staff. So other than that, pretty simple and all required changes.
Okay, Mr. Schiraldi, please call the roll.
Mrs. Mahalis.
Yes.
Mrs. Fuller,
Yes.
Dr. Schneider,
Yes.
Mrs. Click.
Yes.
All right, those policy updates are approved. Exhibit E1E is a resolution to accept bids and then award a bid for the replacement of a package chiller air handler unit to Erie affiliates. May I have a motion for approval, please?
Moved.
Second.
What exactly is a package chiller air handler unit?
Yeah, so I was hoping to have the opportunity to comment on this one. So essentially what this is it's just an air handler unit on the back of the high school. This is infamously known as air handler number 9. It essentially supports 8 classrooms that were part of the addition, this, predominantly social studies and English classrooms on the backside there near the stadium. Past its useful life cycle, it failed, as has been happening with a number of things. which is obviously why we're looking at the essential plan. We had to bid this out per our board policy. We're hopeful it was going to be closer to 250,000. You can see it was not. Per best practice, we are actually moving it up to the roof versus being on the ground, which is not recommended as another addition. So we're working to get this done into the summer so that it's open, you know, with the air conditioning for next year. But it's $321,000, and our, you know, annual PI is $880,000. So, you know, just wanted to, that's over a third if you're doing the math. So very expensive, and obviously had no choice, and it takes up a large part of our PI funds that were set aside for facilities.
Okay, any questions? All right, then please call the roll.
Mrs. Mahalis?
Yes.
Mrs. Click?
Yes.
Mrs. Schneider?
Yes.
Sorry, Dr. Schneider. Mrs. Fuller?
All right, so that passes. And next, we have a discussion item about a policy regarding artificial intelligence. Dr. Mistich, would you like to?
I would love to have the opportunity to talk about this. Also, put this in your weekly update. So we received, as we normally do, the OSBA policy, sample policy on artificial intelligence. We had created one previously, we revised it. We were really not pleased with what they put together for this one. So instead of trying to revise what they gave us, we essentially just got rid of it, started from scratch and looked at what the legal requirements are. We do need to have an artificial intelligence policy. We need to make sure it covers specific things, which this one does: student data privacy, compliance with existing policies, administrative guidance. So this is a legally compliant AI policy, which we believe internally in the district is a good policy in a sense that it attacks the policy issue and doesn't over interfere with practices or make things so inflexible that we can't innovate within the district. And so that's why we rewrote it and are recommending this one, but we want you to have more time to look at it, comment, whatever, and we can you know, look at approving it at the next board meeting in April.
Okay, and we appreciate that we have a month to
Yes.
look at this, but are there any questions tonight?
Yes.
I noticed there's nothing on citation in here. Is that purposely left out?
Yeah, it is, because it's not necessarily a requirement in the law, not that we don't want to teach best practice to our students. So there are certain things we might teach and talk about, but it's not necessarily required in the policy. So we have guidelines, we have, at the high school, they spend a lot of time putting together sort of like a spectrum of what's appropriate use, not appropriate use, when you cite it, how you use it. We think that's great, but those are guidelines and best left to be guidelines and not put in policy.
Will you just kind of give like a general overview of why this policy would be preferable over what OSBA was recommending?
Yeah, basically what I said at the end, it was very restrictive in a sense that every single type of AI that we were to use in the district would first need to be sort of sought approval from maybe potentially Mr. Hayes and gone through a policy, trying to keep an updated list, which is really almost impossible at this point in time because of how embedded AI is in everything that we do, including email, Google, you know, so it's not really practical, and doing that probably would interfere with actually our effective use of it, because sometimes we're piloting things, we're trying things, and we don't necessarily have just one school-sponsored AI. We do use Gemini, it's a part of Enterprise. You know, there are other staff members using Brisk and different, you know, I mean, there's a whole bunch of them. So we do spend time on professional development. We believe in that. We believe in training. We believe in vetting. But we think, again, that's best to administrative guidance and ever-evolving policy versus, practice versus putting that in our board policy.
Anything else for now? Okay, so we will look to
Next
vote
week
on this
or
next month.
Mhm.
Okay, under board items, we all have this in front of us. This is a notice about the open house meetings regarding the essential plan, the bond issue coming up in November. And I would ask that each of you email me and let me know if you can attend, which of these meetings you can attend, and if any you definitely cannot attend, so that I can try to get the two of us, we can't have more than two of us, at each of these. So I'd appreciate that if you do that this week, and then I'll hand out assignments. Okay, any other board items? All right, then next we have an executive session. We're going to go into an executive session to consider the purchase of property for public purposes. So I'll give everyone a few minutes to clear the room, and then I'll get a motion and a second to do that. Thank you all for coming. And we do not expect to take any action when we come out of executive session, other than to adjourn. I'm going to wait till the room clears, then I'm going to do that for you. Oh, I will. Yes.
Wednesday,
I'll have you sign this at the MOU, and then I'll get that to the And then I asked Sal to actually stay for executive session, since he's got a lot of perspective on the property and selling. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Thanks for coming, sir. Glad you got to see your daughter's speech.
Thank you.
Oh, I'm sure. I know you're naive, but not that naive.
Thanks. See you later. I drew a blank on what FMO stands for.
Yes, sir.
we can, do we want to get the motions and approvals now? Then we can get set up to talk.
Oh. Okay. Could I have a motion, please, to go into executive session?
Let's say you're coming back in here. Did you turn off the,
Oh, yeah.
We
We can turn
keep
these
it
up.
on,
wait 1 second.
yeah.
Yeah, it's still on for that.
Yep.
Second.